School uniforms can feel a bit fuddy-duddy. I'm sure a lot of kids wish they could wear their latest designer shoes to school. But there is a reason for them. They instill discipline and they instill a vibe of why they're at school. They're at school to study, not to show off. They're at school to pay attention, not play the peacock. Look at any school with good grades and you'll see a uniform. Look at a school which is poorly performing, and you'll often see a pretty scruffy effort at a uniform, and you'll see very poor compliance with that uniform. A friend of mine, their children go to a school with quite a strict uniform discipline, and they told me about one of their favourite teachers. He dresses like he's a city banker. He wears a three-piece suit, his hair's perfectly coiffured, his shoes are shine, and he tells them, I'm dressing like this because I've come to teach you, and I expect you to dress properly because you're here to learn. And I have to say, I admire that teacher because I firmly believe that schools benefit from a uniform. Now, parents have to pay for that uniform, and it can get pretty pricey. Pop into any school uniform shop, and it's quite shocking how much some items will be. But that is the investment we make in our children. And there are multiple schools in an area. There's always one that's pretty lax on such things. And there's always at least one which is very strict on the uniform. When you apply for a school place, you normally put 5 or 6 down. So frankly, parents make that decision knowing that there's going to be a uniform. I saw an interview with Catherine Burble Singh. Now, she's known as the strictest headmistress, but you know what? She's also known as the best results. She doesn't take any nonsense, and she teaches in what is frankly a poor and disadvantaged area where if you just put them in a school and did the normal process, you'd end up with a handful going to university and a lot of people on the dole or in menial jobs. But she doesn't. She gets almost the same grades as Eton College. If you've ever been to Eton College, it's like Oxford and Cambridge had a baby and it's a secondary school. It's a pillar of academe. It has its own museums. It has its own phone boxes in its colours. It's not some normal school. It's not taking any child who applies from a very poor inner city area. And how does she achieve that? Well, there's a lot of elements to what she does, but one of the key elements is having a uniform and enforcing it. And she said that the average high performing school has 5 items of dress in a uniform which are standardised with the school name on. Our education minister doesn't want to discuss high performing schools with her. She's too busy trying to tax some of the high performing schools and put them down in the politics of envy. Well, she doesn't want 5 school uniform items. She doesn't want it even to be an option. So when she sits down with Catherine Burble Singh, whose work at that school is near miraculous, does she listen to her? No. She says, I know best. It should be 3 items at maximum. So are we going to push forward and push up the education of our children? Or are we going to concentrate on indoctrination